What's up, metalheads? Welcome to the Lunatics of Metal. All right, if you guys watched us last week, you know what we do. We're here to talk about metal. And I got my good buddies in the house, Mr. Jim and Alpha back there, Mr. Andy. How you fellas doing tonight?
Good. Bit warm out, but good.
Yep. What?
Warm out.
Oh,
gotcha. Hot as a crotch is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, it's middle of Midwest, swelter weather here. So
yeah.
Swelter.
Yeah.
Swelter skelter.
Oh yeah. Tonight, as you can see from the banner, or maybe you can't see, hell, I don't know. We're going to be talking about Anthrax tonight. We love all things Anthrax, but specifically tonight we're talking about State of Euphoria. This was
the yellow record.
The yeller one. This was, I think, a Jimmy pick. And,
it was
Jimmy pick.
Jimmy pick. Jimmy. Oh no, it's Jimmy Crack.
I don't care.
I'm sure you don't. But,
don't care.
My question to you is, what were you doing in 1988?
Buying this record the day it came out.
Hell yeah.
Because I had already been exposed to them off Among the Living and Spreading the Disease. So
absolutely,
I knew what I was getting. And I knew even if it wasn't going to be as good as those two records, I would still like it.
Right.
Which I still think Among the Living is their best full piece of work they've ever done, and I don't see them ever topping that. But this is pretty up there with it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good album. I'm going to tell you right now, I think Worship Music gives it a good run for its money, though.
Well, if I'm going to rank them, I'll probably actually put Worship Music number 2 right now. But in its day, I would probably put this right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm a big Anthrax fan. I like all their albums. Even the shitty ones are not. They got some decent songs on them. There's 3 albums that are kind of but there's still some decent songs on them. But most of their albums are really good.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, they have always been the type of band that they're fun to listen to,
Oh,
yeah. They're heavy, they get their point across, and they're just, all their albums are really fun.
And they're well-produced, typically.
Here we go.
They sound good. Scott and Charlie just click together.
Yeah, absolutely. I am going to tell you, I prefer them with Joey Belladonna more than anything. I love his voice. He just...
I like all the singers.
I do too, but...
The first one's probably in last place for me, but, Joey's probably my top pick.
Yeah, absolutely.
But John's right up there.
Yeah,
he's so good.
Good vocals too, but the Joey era to me is that's when I got into it. Actually, this album is my first Anthrax was State of Euphoria.
Okay.
Cassette, actually.
Yeah.
I was in 8th grade. I was 13, and just getting into Metallica, had a few Metallica albums, and then I've heard of Anthrax, and this was my first one I got on tape at Kmart. I don't know, it wasn't the first day it came out, but it was new. And I've been a fan ever since.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this album, and I was a huge fan of Among the Living. I probably wore a couple copies of that out. Just an absolutely phenomenal album, front to back. And State of Euphoria came out, and I, rushed out and got it. And dude, it was so. It hit me. It was just. There's a lot on it that just had a lot to do with that time in my life and stuff, and it's just a great album. But let's talk a little bit about Anthrax before we get into that here. So, as we all know, Anthrax is an American thrash metal band from New York City. New York City?
We're from New York. We hate everybody.
Queens.
Where's your pecani sauce from? New York City. But anyway, They were formed in 1981 by rhythm guitarist Scott Ian and bassist Dan Lilker, who also played together in SOD. The group is considered one of the leaders of the thrash metal scene from the 1980s and is part of the big four of the genre, along with Metallica, Megadeth, and Slayer. They were also one of the first thrash metal bands, along with Overkill and Nuclear Assault, to emerge from the East Coast. The band's current lineup consists of Scott Ian, drummer Charlie Benente, bassist Frank Bello, and vocalist Joey Belladonna.
Belladonna?
Belladonna.
Yeah.
Belladonna? However you want to say that.
And right now, Frankie's actually not been playing with them. It's been Lilker.
And why
as
is
we
that?
record this. Nobody knows. It's like people are trying to figure that one out still. Last I had heard, nothing had been reported.
I think Frankie's sore with them.
It's not unheard of. After all, Charlie is his uncle.
Right.
They've had family fighting for years.
Okay, Uncle Charlie.
Yeah. And they also have lead guitarist Jonathan Denias. I think I said
Denias is, I think how it is.
Okay.
But
all
either
right.
way,
yeah,
from Shadows Fall.
Shadows Fall. Nice.
And he can shred.
Yeah. Reading through some of this.
Yeah, Jonathan was brought in after, I can't remember, that guy left for Volbeat. I can't think of his name now off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up. But Paul, I think, was his name, something. But I was a real big fan of that dude's playing style. I kind of preferred it over Jonathan for a lead player.
Yeah.
But Jonathan's got a gear that guy doesn't have.
Yeah, now you got me wondering about the whole Frank Bello thing. I did not know about that.
Oh, that's gone on for 6 months or so as the time we're recording this.
I did not know that because I follow Frank Bello on Facebook, and I've been watching a lot of his videos. He just started about a year ago. Started a big thing with Spectre basses. He plays all Spectre basses exclusively now, and which is odd for him because he was a Fender player for years.
Oh yeah,
and yeah, he's switched over to all Spectre basses, and I had not heard about the him not playing with them. Wonder what's going on there.
Don't know exactly, but I do know he had cited something. I want to say medical or something was the reason why he couldn't go out on tour with them. And then all of a sudden, like less than a month later, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to go to European tour and play with Satyricon on bass." And everyone's like scratching their head, like, "What?" And then they brought in Danny Lilker, but he's still technically in the band, last I heard.
That's bizarre. It's bizarre. Mm-hmm. I had not heard that yet.
Rob Caggiano. It wasn't Paul. I was thinking of the bass player. That was the other guitar player. I just looked it up.
Okay.
But Rob is also their producer for worship music and
I
all
like
that
Rob
stuff.
myself, but
I think Jonathan basically just does whatever they tell him to do, and they're happy with that.
Right.
Because let's face it, it's always been Scott and Charlie who run that show.
Yeah. Well, and so what are they doing now? I mean, are they even touring right now? Because Charlie is playing with Pantera.
Or they did
They've done some one-offs, but they're not really doing full tours at the moment because the Pantera stuff is just wrapping up as we speak. I think in San Francisco this weekend. So after that, they're going to have some time off.
Well, I actually have tickets to see them in September in St. Louis. So
I'm talking about the opening slot for Metallica.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, because they're out on the road with Metallica right now.
But he's saying
the 72 seasons American run is finishing up.
Yeah, that's ran for the past 72 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Kiss's final farewell tour.
Yeah, started in 1992.
Yeah. And I've probably seen them 4 or 5 times since then.
Don't give them too much crap. The Who started their farewell tour in 82.
Oh, nice. And they won't be
They're
fooled
offering out
again.
more tours.
Yeah, they've been on a farewell tour longer than they've been on
An actual
part before
tour.
it. No, the
Yeah.
part before it.
Yeah. And they won't be fooled again.
Yeah.
They won't be fooled again.
They won't be touring again.
Nice.
They fired their drummer.
So it's kind of funny. Over the years, there's been so many people go in and out of this band. The only constant member has been Scott Ian.
Yeah, and
Very
the
strange.
original other drummer before,
Greg D'Angelo.
who went to White Lion.
Oh, I didn't know that. I hadn't looked that
Did
up.
not know that.
Yeah.
Why would you go from Anthrax to White Lion? But hey,
He was probably getting more chicks.
yeah, he needed to wait.
Well, and it's not like either band was making money in the early days.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We all know how that goes if you're in the business
Yeah,
in any fashion.
yeah. And it sucks that all the music that we love. These guys fought and clawed their way all through the 80s and 90s, and really never made what they should have been making.
They kind of, a lot of them are now more so. A lot of bands,
If they've been lucky enough to stay around.
right, a lot of
Right.
more underground bands are kind of doing better now than they were back in the day.
Oh, when you're in your 20s and you got all this energy and stuff, we're not going to pay you shit.
Yeah.
Here's a peanut butter sandwich for all of you to share. But
And you
now
owe
that
us
you're
gas money on your tour.
now that you're in your 60s, we're going to pay you $1 million a show. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Why didn't you give me that
Oh, and
money back then?
by the way, your nosebleed tickets are now $250 on StubHub
Yeah, that's stupid. Absolutely stupid.
for half the bands out there. It's just a
Yeah,
gross exaggeration of what's going on.
Right. So there's actually been there was something just on the news the other day that they're trying to do. Of course, our government's getting involved with it. They're trying to put a stop to that, to the ticket gouging.
Well, what they did do, which is already in place, is you know how it used to, you'd go buy your tickets and then at the last second they tack on all those fees?
Yeah.
Now they have to tell you that up front. And
Right.
it's the same thing with those hotels and resort fees
Yeah.
you get there.
Yeah.
You can't go to check out and they say, by the way, you owe us $50.
Right.
That's considered illegal now.
Yeah.
The only thing they can't do that on is taxes and shipping. So I look for them to find a loophole around with shipping to charge you $40.
Well, and it's funny because everybody is complaining about not having, and it bugs me too, not having a ticket stub anymore.
I order them.
All tickets are digital now.
I order actual paper tickets. You can still get them. You just have to pay extra now.
Right, you got to pay extra for them, and I kind of wonder if they're trying to get away from that to keep down on the scalping and stuff.
Well, here's the other part of that equation: is there's a lot of bands who are starting to lock up people's phones, and how do you use your phone to do everything that you normally do at the venue, like say pay for stuff, to scan it so you can get in, get your seat if it's locked up? You're going to have to do some type of paper ticketing.
Right. Yeah, I don't know that they'll ever do that because a lot of venues now, especially around here, a lot of venues are going cashless. So, I mean, yeah, I know there's a lot of venues like they're not wanting you to take a lot of bands, and it's stupid. They're not wanting you to take pictures and video and stuff like that. And I get it, but come on, we're gonna see that shit anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for me, when you go to shows now and you look around and everybody's watching the show through their fucking cell phone screen, because they're videoing it or they're taking pictures. It's like, man, I remember when I was a kid when you lived in the moment,
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
And
I don't mind someone doing that for like a song or something, as long as it's not annoying the people around you. But those people who hold them way up over their heads and just like block everyone else's view, that's just being a dick.
I never rewatched that ever.
I was at somebody's show and there was a girl in front of me that had a fucking full-size tablet that she was recording the show with. I ended up watching part of the show through her fucking tablet because it was easier to see, you know. I don't know. I'm fucking old now. I want to sit and watch bands, and I can't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
but I digress.
As you start to get to be our age, those all-day festivals don't look so appealing either.
No,
it's like if that's a marathon.
I went to the Metal
like
Fest the 2 years prior, and it
tires.
It's tiresome, but it was worth it.
Yeah. Well,
I want to go to Maryland Death Fest at one point.
Like, I've got a buddy of mine that goes to that Louder Than Life festival every year, and he's always trying to get me to go, and it's like, fuck, dude, I'm too fucking old for that shit, Being outside in the fucking heat, watching these bands play for fucking 3 days straight, camping in a fucking no, I'm not interested. I've seen almost all these bands. I mean, I know that sounds stupid and whatever, but no, I'm just not interested. And the ticket prices are just ridiculous, Like, I'm going to a couple of shows this year, and I love going to concerts. It sucks, man. But I'm going to a couple of shows this year, and, like, my buddy Clint bought us tickets to see Pantera, if that's what you can call them. The tickets were over $200 a piece. And I'm like, dude, why did you do that? And he was like, well, I don't know. Something for us to do.
And you see, I cap mine at $100. If it's over $100, I'm out.
Well, and I get that, but then there's a lot of times like, man, I really want to see that band,
I don't want to see them that bad. Unless it's Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd. I'm not going to do it.
First concert I ever went to was Iron Maiden. I paid $12.50 to see them. The next time I got a chance to see them was like, I don't know, 20 years later. And fucking ticket was $65. I was like, Jesus Christ, man.
My first show was Metallica, and it was $18.75 for a ticket, and the service charge was $0.25.
Yeah. Was that the Justice?
Yeah, with Queensryche opening.
Yep. Yeah, I was at
Mind, Crime, and Justice.
Yep.
Greatest.
That was the one and only time I ever saw Metallica.
You picked the best one of the shows that they've had through St. Louis that I've seen.
Really?
I got to see him on the Black Album tour. That was good. But
I saw him twice on the Black Album, but Justice just blew it out of the water.
I really wanted to go see that the new one that they did last year, but $500 a ticket for the floor. I was like, not interested.
That's the other thing. I'm not spending that type of money.
I mean, I'll spend money for a fest,
And to be flat honest with you,
gazillion bands.
With the case of Metallica, I love the music, most of it. There's some parts I don't like, more of the 90s stuff. But when you listen to their live performances now, compared to what they sounded like when they were coming up, it feels like everything's in slow motion.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, it feels like everything's 15 to 20 beats per minute slower, at least. And I know Lars doesn't have the best meter, but you know what I'm saying.
That's funny. This show is let's bitch about metal. We've turned this into let's complain about concerts.
Yeah, well, what we've done is
it's the truth.
It's the Anthrax coming out in us, that New York attitude.
Not. Well, let's get back to Anthrax.
Yep.
So, I mean, they started in New York in 81. This
is album number 4.
This is album number 4. First album, Fistful of Metal, came out in 84.
Second major label.
Yep. Among the Living came out in 87. And then State of Euphoria came out in 88. What was in between there? There was another one in there.
I'm the Man, I mean.
Oh, that was an EP.
No, there wasn't one.
No, there was another one.
Among the Living and State of Euphoria.
I missed it.
Armed and Dangerous was an EP.
That was out.
Oh, Spreading the Disease. I forgot that one.
That was the second one.
Yeah. Yeah, Spreading the Disease came out in 85, and then Among the Living in 87, and then we make it to State of Euphoria in 1988.
Spreading is where they really found their sound, in my opinion.
Spreading the Disease. State of Euphoria, 1988. That album came out right before I turned 17. God damn, I'm old. Jesus.
Yeah, I would have been 13, 14.
There was a lot of listening to this in the car while I was cruising.
Oh, I can imagine.
There was a lot of other people listening to this as I was cruising in my car, too.
There was a lot of Headbangers Ball video playing on this record, too.
Yes. Yeah.
They had the Halloween tour also with Exodus. The Headbangers Ball tour.
And then they also, on this tour...
Oh, I do remember that.
They opened for Ozzy on the No Rest for the Wicked. That was huge for them, man.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because Ozzy brought out Motley Crue in, 84, and then brought out Metallica in 86, and then brought out Anthrax in 88, so...
Yeah.
He had a good track record of bringing up up-and-coming bands that were going to be big.
Yeah.
It's almost like he knew what he was doing.
It's weird for me. I don't know. God, when was the first time I saw Anthrax?
I know my time. We were together. Carbondale on Attack of the Killer Bees, watching them open up for... they headlined.
They headlined, and it was Public Enemy and an unknown band called Primus. And there was some other band that we missed, a group, or I don't know, we missed it. And then Primus, then Public Enemy and Anthrax. And I won those tickets on a local radio station.
Nice.
You had to be the third caller, and nobody listened to this radio station. It was like on a Wednesday. I was first, second, and I was the third caller. And I won, 4 tickets?
Mm-hmm.
And, Nate drove us down.
Yeah.
Our friend Nate Watkins drove us, and, it was awesome. That was the first Anthrax show.
It's funny. I'm sitting here. I'm on Wikipedia, on their page on Wikipedia, and Attack of the Killer Bees is not on this list.
Well, it's an extended EP, even though it's the length of an album.
But still, you would have thought it would have been on this list, but
yeah,
but it also came out after Persistence.
Yeah. That was a really cool album to me. I enjoyed that album.
Persistence is where they went dark. I mean, musically.
Yeah. And it's so funny. While we're talking about Persistence, one of my favorite songs on that album's Got the Time. And didn't realize that was a cover back in the day. I did not realize that.
I remember hearing that when it was first released. It's a Joe Jackson song. I'm like, that's great. Who's Joe Jackson?
Yeah.
I knew it was a cover when it first came out, but I didn't know.
Yeah, I did not know it was a cover when it first came out. I learned that years later.
I used to gobble up all the music mags back then, so I was always reading up on all this stuff. And that was either in a Hit Parader or RIP or something along those lines.
Oh, speaking of RIP, the lady that helped start RIP magazine just passed away yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything about that.
She actually, it's kind of weird. RIP magazine came about because of Hustler.
Huh.
It was RIP magazine was out, but this lady helped push it into the mainstream, and it was
okay.
And she worked for Hustler magazine. She worked for Larry Flint.
I knew there was a connection there, but I didn't realize.
Yeah, and unfortunately, she just passed away. I think it was yesterday. I saw it. It popped up on Facebook. So,
okie dokie.
Pretty crazy. Pretty
crazy.
Crazy.
That's weird, wild stuff. But I believe this record went gold, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this one, it was pretty popular. I mean, it got a lot of... it was on MTV. I mean, it had, Antisocial on MTV. They toured with Ozzy.
Yeah, November 88 to January of 89 is when they were with Ozzy.
But the band doesn't really... This is not one of their favorite albums. They kind of...
It was rushed.
Yeah, they were touring like crazy on Among the Living, and then they exhausted, and they were rushed in the studio, and they were rushed in the studio because they had tour dates like Monsters of Rock and some other things, and they just felt like they were rushed. They wanted to spend more time on the album. They just don't really care for it. But
I've heard Scott say this is his worst album. If he had
Charlie maybe too. Like, but I love this album.
Yeah,
maybe because it was my first Anthrax. I don't know, but every song on
that's a good possibility. I really like this album too. It was just like I said, it was just a fun album.
Oh yeah,
well, it was euphoric.
And it was euphoric. And honestly, the production's really good on it, you know?
Except for the kick drums. That's my
I'll give you that.
But I love all the songs. I love all the songs, except for 13's goofy, but that's not really a song. But every song on it, I think, is really good. And I don't know why the band themselves don't like it, but...
I think 13 is the rest of the guys in the band saying, okay, Frankie, you write a song. Because that's his vocals on there. There's no doubt there.
Right.
But it's an underrated album, I think. I've heard a lot of people brag on this album. When they got to Stage Euphoria, I don't know what the fuck they were doing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
I mean, spreading the disease opened doors for them, but Among the Living put them on the map.
Yeah, but
then this one just cemented it.
This is underrated,
and then, once they released Antisocial, that just got blasted on every radio, MTV, and that really pushed them.
And it had some good songs.
Definitely the biggest song on this album for them.
That's
easily.
Yeah, Social's.
They still play
one of my least favorites on here, but it's good.
Yeah.
And the album starts when you put the needle down or press play on your CD player with the cello.
Yeah.
And everyone's probably like, what the? And then it all kicks in and it's just freaking heavy.
I played that song at my 8th grade graduation party.
Nice.
Everybody was playing, the girls were playing their Paul Abdul and all the things, and this was my song I picked. It was
sweet.
Yeah. And it kicked in with the cello and everybody was kind of looking like, what the fuck? And then... I'm like, with my mullet. My mullet was doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Then I think there was also a video for Out of Sight, Out of Mind, but I think it got played once on MTV because MTV thought they were making fun of the homeless situation when they were trying to bring attention to it.
Yeah.
Because that's what that one's about. And then Make Me Laugh. I mean, that one's just... punching to me. Like it just keeps running. I don't know how else to really describe it.
I like every song on it. I mean, there's not
especially
that 13 thing. Every song is every song's good.
Now It's Dark is probably the dark horse popular favorite on this by a lot of people.
Right. Yeah.
Which is based off of Blue Velvet from David Lynch, that movie with what's his name? I can't think of the actor's name. Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
In there, going, don't you fucking look at me, and
yeah.
It was on that 40th documentary.
Mm-hmm.
I seen that. They were talking about that.
And I remember back in the day, my buddy, our friend Gene, would always just yell that out, just randomly in weird places.
Nice.
So what's your favorite songs on here?
So for me,
what's your top three? Top three songs.
So, God, that's hard. I'm gonna throw Antisocial in there. I love the rhythm of that song.
It flows well.
Yeah,
I really like Schism, and probably Out of Sight, Out of Mind. Probably my 3 favorites on here. I don't know. They're all good, dude. It depends on the day. It really depends on the day, but
there's no losing on this record.
I think Antisocial for me though is just one of those songs that's like every time this is one of those albums. Every time I put it in, it takes me back to being a teenager. And I remember all of these songs, like, especially for my friends, we used to all go and we used to cruise a lot. And, we were in an area where, there was a pretty cool place for people to cruise. And, you know, it was like 4-lane road all the way through, you know, South County. And like you'd have 2 lanes going both directions of just stop and go traffic, and it was all teenagers out there cruising. And you heard this album a lot out there, you know, because it was just cool, you know. It was a good album. It was a fun album to listen to.
It's definitely special for me too. Like I said, it was my first. I was in 8th grade. When I met Jim, he knows I had Anthrax. I had more Anthrax shirts than any band at that point.
Yeah.
I had a couple Metallica, the Queensryche one, but the Anthrax was... They've always been one of my favorite bands. Charlie's always been one of my favorite drummers since I was 13.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I said, I've always loved Anthrax, but I never got to see them when I was younger. I didn't get to see them until they played like a Mayhem Fest or something one year. Fuck, it was probably...
That'd have been in the 2000s.
Early 2000s before I ever got to see them, you know.
And Joey probably was back at that point, wasn't he?
Yeah, he had just come back. And since then, I've seen him, I don't know, a handful of times, you know, here or there. I've never seen them headline a show, though. It's always been with like...
Didn't they headline when I seen... Or did Kill Switch Engage headline? Was it Anthrax or Kill Switch? Because remember I seen you at that one a handful of years ago.
Were they headlining that show? Because
I think Killswitch was. Because that was when Killswitch was at their peak.
Maybe Killswitch was.
Yeah, see, I think... Andy, I don't know.
I was
thinking that was...
And see him.
Yeah, we seen him at 95.
No, I went up there to visit my brother, which his wife's family is up there.
Oh, later.
And I got a chance to see them with Slayer and Megadeth, doing not Dead Skin Mask, that record, Seasons in the Abyss, and they were doing Rust in Peace, start to finish. So I got both those albums all the way through, and then Anthrax opened. Anthrax did like 45-minute set, and you could tell they were down-tuned like a whole step. But Joey's voice it fit better in that register.
Right.
And Megadeth was killer, and Slayer was killer. Slayer closed the night, but it was a great show. And Jim Florentine opened.
Really?
No shit. That's cool.
He did like 10, 15 minutes or something.
That's cool. It's funny. I never got to see him when I was younger. It was, it was early 2000s before I saw him.
Yeah, I mean, me and Jim
remember they were playing a side stage or something. And then I saw him that time.
It was like 09 or so.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they were playing a side stage. I don't even remember who was playing the main stage that year.
Slayer.
I remember it may have been Slayer playing the main stage. But but then I saw them. Weren't they at the pageant with Slayer? Or am I thinking? Oh, no. That was.
I don't think so.
That was Exodus.
Yeah.
Wasn't that
Exodus and Death Angel?
Exodus and Death Angel. That's right. God, it's crazy. I've seen Slayer so many times I can't even remember how. I mean, dude, it was funny. When I went and saw my buddy Aaron a few weeks ago, he was telling me, he was like, "Man, I've seen Slayer like 35 times," and I'm sitting there trying to think. I'm like, "Fuck, I don't even know how many times I've seen." I don't know how many times I've seen them.
Because it's one of the bands I've seen one of the most too.
Yeah, Megadeth is the other one. Megadeth and Slayer are the two bands I've seen the most in my life.
I've seen Slayer probably more than both those bands together, but I've seen both of them several times.
Yeah.
But no, me and Jim seen them first in 91, but I owned the Nice Fucking Video from the Among the Living tour.
On VHS.
On VHS. And I watched the fuck out of that video.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that and AC/DC Let There Be Rock, two I watched the most when I was a kid.
I watched that a lot. I remember when Cliff 'Em All came out, and I watched.
I had that on the day it was released.
I did.
I watched
the fuck out of that. Yes.
Yep, that was the only way you could get it back then.
Yeah.
I think they might have had Laserdisc, but I never had one of those.
AC/DC Let There Be Rock. I had Cliff 'Em All and Anthrax. The Nice Fucking Video, and then you recorded me a videotape with a bunch of random videos on it.
Well,
Headbangers Ball.
yeah, because the one that would always get played was Indians. I mean, that was probably the heaviest played song of theirs in the history of that show.
Like I said, I discovered them on stage before, so
Yeah.
But Madhouse, I remember hearing them tell the story, got them banned off of MTV. They said, you guys will never get played on MTV again because they thought they were making fun of the mental health people.
Yeah.
And MTV was throwing a big stink about it. And then they kept getting so big that they kind of had to cave to Anthrax. So then when Among the Living blew up, they started playing
fucking cool,
Indians.
dude.
And with Joey being an Indian, they kind of couldn't really use that excuse on them.
Right.
fucking rubberheads.
So,
Can you imagine blowing up so big that fucking MTV's got to bow down to you? Hell yeah.
Well, they did the same stuff to Fear Factory on Replica.
Yeah.
Because he says, I am rape in the video. And they just lost their poop over it.
Yeah. Go figure.
Yeah. They have weird stances on some videos that they just, I can't figure it out. And I don't think most of the public can either.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
but that's
this is
MTV.
a really good album.
Well, they don't even play videos anymore. Now it's all I'm pregnant and I'm a teenager.
Yeah. I really dig this album, it just ran through my head, we could be rating these. I don't know if you guys are interested in that shit.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'll give this one a...
How do you want to do the system, though?
A
do you want to do 1 to 10?
Oh, sorry.
Do you want to do 1 through 10?
Sure.
Yes.
10 being the best?
Yep.
No, let's make it 10 being the worst. No. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
No
I'm
fractions.
just kidding anyway.
Only decimal points.
Fractions.
Yeah, it's a 7 3/4.
3/4.
I think it's a solid 8.
Yeah, I'd say that.
I got that.
I'd give it an 8.175.
I mean, even 8.5. I mean, it's...
Yeah, when you compare it to other Anthrax albums, that's tough. I'm gonna say it's a 7. It's not.
Well, I'm gonna throw Among the Living in as their 10, and then probably Worship Music would be their 9.
Yeah.
So I would put this at 8, and then I would probably also put Persistence at 8. Spreading the Disease at 8.
I mean,
Persistence
I'm not
is
saying
a good
Steve
time.
Euphoria is my favorite, but it's really fucking good.
Sound of White Noise I would put as an 8.
I would put Sound of White Noise up there, maybe 9. 8 or
Really?
9.
Greater of Two Evils, I would probably put it a 7.
What is that one?
That's the John Bush re-record of all the old stuff. They did it live.
Consider that a real album now.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Studio.
Yeah, but it's just them re-recording the old songs.
I mean, you could say the same of any of the EPs, too. You could rate those.
Worship Music, for me, is up there with... I'm not saying it's their best either, but it's right up there with their best, in my opinion.
Absolutely. See,
It's
and
up
for
there
me...
with Among the Living. And
For me, Worship Music and Among the Living are like almost neck and neck. I listen to Worship Music quite a bit. I love the whole album. There's not anything on it that I don't like.
I'm the same way, and I think For All Kings is not... I don't like it as well as Worship Music, but it's right there.
It's really good, but honestly, I don't listen to For All Kings that much.
I'm with Gerald on that.
It took me a little bit to... It took me a couple, at least 2 or 3, like, re-listens to kind of go back, and then once I started listening to it, I'm like, man, it's not as good as Worship Music, but it's right. It's close.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Yeah. I'll give it this. It's got some really good stuff on it.
There's a little filler on there, though, in my opinion, compared to Worship Music.
It's funny because... So here I'll just throw it out there. My absolute favorite song on For All Kings is Breathing Lightning. I absolutely love that song, dude.
But I love the album.
In fact, it was funny. I was listening to Anthrax on the way to work the other day, and I don't have this album in my car, But so I was listening to worship music, and I was like, man, I really want to hear Breathing Lightning. And so I told, I've got a sync system, so I told my car, play Breathing Lightning, and it went to like Metallica or something. I'm like, what the fuck? Well, then come find out I don't have this album in my car anymore, and I'm like, well, that's fucking stupid. But I don't know. For me, For All Kings is it's good, but I don't know. I couldn't get into it.
This one first.
I couldn't get into it as much as I did worship music.
No, I didn't like I said, quite as much, but to me, it's up there. It took me a while to listen to it. I was listening to it a lot, and eventually I'm like, it's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, the production on it is amazing, but
both of them, Yeah. But Anthrax is one of those bands. Like, to me, their worst albums are Volume 8, Stomp, and We've Come From You All. But there's still some good songs on all them albums, though.
Right.
I really like We've Come For You All. I thought that one